This is Journey. This is Australia's finest bowling ball line. The signature line, Journey. The 7th installment, we had Timeless, and then we had Drive, and then we had Trend. Trend 2.
Promotion.
Promotion was in between there. Fate has brought us here to this journey I'm about to take you on with no 7-pin in the rack. I whiffed it all at the bottom.
Oh, and it still made it.
But it doesn't count because we didn't have a full rack. So we're gonna talk about Journey today. It's got the Fate core F8 as found in the Fate, like I just said. And then we have a Pearl version of the Phase 2 cover stock on the Journey. We will be comparing it to the Zen Gold label, Virtual Energy Blackout, TNT Infused. Those are all balls that are similar in range, but just a little bit different. We just don't have a 7-pin today. So we're gonna move around the lane, see how versatile this thing is. I believe their house shot here is 42 feet, and they just oiled for us. Thank you, Gold Coast. We'll see how this bad boy looks. Bang! Wow, what fresh oil can do for you. I don't know how many games were bowled on, but this is take 2 and the lanes were disgusting. I think the only balls that would have looked good before were hustles, but bad ball reaction. I'm gonna move my feet 5 boards every single shot right here. I stood on 20 the last shot. Here we go, it's 5 left. That's left. Little bit of hole, got a little quick, that's okay. This ball, in my opinion, is gonna be used a little later in the block when you're moving left. I'm gonna assume it's gonna look better and better as we go left. And given how Belmo's track record of bowling balls are on the cleaner side, that's where they're gonna start looking good. Not quite a Belmo messenger, but a messenger regardless. Nonetheless, that one was a little right. We gave it a little more crank. That was standing on 30, so now we're gonna stand on 35. Basically in the range that you're probably never gonna see in league. But you gotta see it just to see it, right? 35. What we're gonna do here is gear down just a touch, maybe give it a little more catch, maybe a little more axis rotation. That's left. Yeah, bonus pins. We'll try again. Not gonna move off of that one, that was a bad shot. They don't use a typical house shot here though. They use a challenge pattern, which I kinda like, because that puts a little more oil on the lane. I think it's been changed pretty recently. So in the past, when we filmed at Gold Coast, could have been fresh. They just hooked no matter what. But now we got a little bit of oil on the lane, so we can give you a truer display of these bowling balls. Let's talk about where Journey fits. I'm gonna go top to bottom here. Let's start with Vibo. I know that I've been saying I throw the gold label before the Vibo, but the gold label's got a little more surface on it, and it stands up quicker because of the layout I put on it. So I've been throwing the Zen Gold label first, and then I'll go to the Vibo. That's a lot. You don't see that one every day. That's close. We got a little steep, really forward.
Did you make up the term Vibo?
No, that was Chayton. He came in the chat one day and he said, this is how we label it at Storm because Virtual Energy Blackout is just so long. Championship Bowling. Go subscribe to them on YouTube. There we go. Keeping the hand nice and forward for now, so a little further right. When you have fresh oil, you want to get your ball to read in the body of the pattern. So whether that's more surface, ball speed, getting more forward, that's what we're trying to do. Get our ball so that it doesn't make that hockey stick shape. Because that hockey stick shape is going to get us into trouble. Sure, we might throw a lot of cool strikes, but when we miss, might be getting 6. So we don't want that. So let's go infuse now in about the same spot. Cover stock wise, that one's a pretty strong one. Got a really strong core too. One of the strongest symmetric cores you're gonna find. Journey should be a little bit weaker, so it's gonna see it a little harder when it gets down the lane. Pretty much the same result, just in a slightly different way. The Infuse got offline a little earlier, stayed a little more in front of it, and so we gave Journey a little more room because of that weaker cover stock. Lets it float to the right easier. I've been saying this a lot lately, but free push equals free hook, so Journey's gonna give you a little more free push because of the weaker cover and the slightly weaker core. So now let's go gold label. That's gonna be a ball down from Infused, and I believe this fits right in between Infused and Journey. Now I'm standing in the same spot for all of these right now. They might be burning up a little quicker than usual. That one is gonna be a little earlier than Journey. It did pick up pretty quick. Not blending off of it quite as much as the Infused. It's got that in between. I think we need to start making moves to the left anyways because we went 9-pin, 9-pin, and now we big forward. So let's make our move with the gold label. I'd move 3 to 4 boards on that. That was a big 4 hit. I'm gonna move 4 just to get ahead of it, and then we'll go back to Journey. This is a 4 and 2. It's about as good as it gets. Maybe a little long, given how it ripped off it pretty hard and didn't really go as forward. We'll take that. That tells me we can keep going and our ball's got enough energy to come off it and keep going. So here we got journey again. Same spot, at 4 and 2 off of the previous. Little right. A little cleaner. So not quite reading the body, the pattern. That tells me we have enough separation so that if you have a gold label, you got room for journey in your bag. This could be the next step down. So if your gold label looks really good in league, as you're progressing through the night, let's say you're getting pretty good. You're shooting 450, 460, maybe even 500 for the first 2. Last game, struggling to get that 10 out. I think once the lanes start to burn up a little bit, like we said, free push is free hook. Journey's gonna give you a little more free push, a little more free hook. When you have that free hook, better pin carry. So here we go. One more shot with the gold label in this spot. See if it's still doing the right thing. So that was very similar to the journey shot at 2-8-10. We have a couple of options. We can go back to the right a little bit with the journey if we want to throw it, or we can start doing some crazy adjustments like throwing it slower and more axis rotation, more catch. Let's move right first. I'm gonna move 2. I feel like that's a pretty typical move off of a 2-pin. Wasn't a very good shot. But when you get in the right part of the lane with the right ball, it'll do the right thing more often than not, even if it's not your best shot. Off of the gold label right now, in this specific instance, they're probably about 2 boards different. So typically we're throwing weaker balls as we start moving left, but that's when the lanes are changing. When the lanes are about the same, and we want to find the difference, that's when we're journey's a little further right, gold label is going to be a little further left, and fuse is probably going to be further left than that. We talked about versatility, so we're going to try to make it work in that gold label spot. I'm going to move my feet 1, make some hand position adjustments. It's not bad. Well, high flush. Versatility, I'd check that box. We can do a couple of different things, make the ball do different things. So we can keep going. Let's do the Belmo thing. You move left, more hook. There's another 5 left. That's what we want to see. Free push. Didn't look like the ball struggled at all to get through the front part of the lane. Free push. Free hook. It's not the hardest pattern, but it's definitely not the easiest. You know, there's a little bit of out of bounds. So we always want our ball to hook in the right window front to back so that we have good ball reaction so we can hit the pocket consistently and strike consistently. So if you got a ball that's a little too clean, actually, you know what? Our ball is a little too clean right now. Let's take some surface to it. Got a pretty worn down 1000 pad here. Light scuff, just taking the shine off, which we do a lot on tour because typically when they're shiny like that, they get off the end of the pattern a little too hard and it gets really hard to control. Tame down the ball motion quite a bit. So now I feel like we can move back to the right a little bit, play straighter because it's not gonna get off line so quick. The front of the lane's not gone yet. It's only been me bowling. I've been throwing maybe 15 shots. So we like that. So let's go back to where that gold label was, see if this is what we needed. Oh, big left. If we did not hit that ball with surface, we got that one left a little bit into the flatness of the pattern. I think a big force. But because we hit it with a little bit of surface, it got it to slow down before the end of the pattern a little more, and it gave it a chance. If you are ever struggling with carry, especially at the beginning of the block, for the next week, try to hit yourself with some surface, get it to pick up a little sooner. The ball's just missing that window front to back a little long. I'm gonna try to throw a good one here. Not bad. High flush, 3 in that spot, just a little bit better, giving us some off hits, a bit of room to miss, and because it's a little more responsive, when it sees that friction, it's gonna see it a little hard on the gold label. For a player like myself, I had a hard time moving left with the fate because it was so smooth. Maybe it was just wrong ball at the wrong time, but this one gets off it just a little more. So I feel a little more comfortable moving left and having it come off the spot when I get it there. Fate, I felt like I had to manipulate it to get off that corner a little more, but this one it feels like it gets off it a little easier, and when you don't have to manipulate it, you're gonna make better shots. One more move to the left, and we'll call it a day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is journey.